The white smoke fell unjustly. Predictable deaths. Heartbreaking murders all stem from drugs. Penalties for drug crimes are extremely severe. Because of large profits, drugs are still smuggled into Vietnam by the subjects. National Highway 1A, Road 1 Ho Chi Minh is the place where the No Toleration Wars take place. When drugs in Vietnam lead from abroad, the main lines between foreign actors are leading the hooks. With some domestic objects transported from the border area into our country for consumption or continue to be transported through a third country, the area of operation of drug transport lines has shifted. Formerly mainly border areas of some northwest provinces, they increased their activities more strongly in some central provinces, the Central Highlands, to assess the complicated situation of drug crime in the area. Since 2018, Doc Lac police have strengthened reconnaissance missions to track down people with suspicious signs of illegal drug trafficking. After a period of strengthening strict control, the police of Doc Lac province discovered a drug trafficking line from abroad to Vietnam for consumption. They operate very sophisticatedly. The links do not know each other, only transactions by phone. To capture, the scouts have to disguise, monitor along the highway, the vehicles that the subject often uses motorbikes and cars to transport and have objects have suspicious expressions, carry and use drugs, from which we detect and even plan to fight and destroy to collect documents, so that we can expand drug line, proactively conducted. At some spontaneously opened trails leading from the border area of the Central Highlands to National Highway 1A, Ho Chi Minh Road, the police were deployed intensively. Enter the area, monitor every movement of the suspect. Among the subjects being monitored, there is a woman, aged from BAC Can, but occasionally appears in a small village near border area between Vietnam and Laos, and move back and forth on the route from border to Doc Lac to Ho Chi Minh City. This woman often rides a passenger car with a bed, showing signs of ignorance. A special reconnaissance team is tasked with monitoring all activities of this object in the area where the house is given, where the subject regularly stays. Emerged as a female subject from the north who is about 30 years old, then when this female subject is also according to the regular rules about 10 days to 15 days is to transport some drugs to Doc Lac for consumption and also after delivery in Doc Lac, then this female subject will go to the southern provinces of Ho Chi Minh City to continue selling drugs because the amount of drugs she brought is very large. Following the movement of the subject, the investigation agency found that after receiving the phone, the female subject moved to the border to exit abroad by car by official road, then re-entered after a few days. Come back Vietnam. Upon returning to Vietnam, subject continued to travel on bus routes and constantly changed means of transport. This time subject carried an iron block like a gearbox. Broken car. According to sources from the scout said this object is transporting a large volume of drugs. It is most likely being disguised in this engine block. August 10, 2018 identify female subject carrying engine block on a sleeper bus heading towards Ho Chi Minh City. Right on the night of August 10th, the police of Doc Lac province organized an ambush, arrested the subject, avoiding the risk that the subject could disperse the evidence at any time. After being asked to get off the car to quickly check the number of goods. The goods that this woman was carrying, the car engine block was opened and inside contained many cakes in the form of heroin drug packages. At the investigating agency, the subject confessed to being Phan Thi Deo, born in 1980 in Kemjong Commune, Bok Thong District, BAC Can Province, claiming to receive money from a woman named Hein who went to Laos to give to a man named Sai, and received 22 cakes of heroin. The said object only knows the names of such objects, while the identity and background of the objects related to Deo do not know. Identify the case with many complicated details. The police of Doc Lac province continue to expand the investigation and search for the related subjects. Many reconnaissance shots were launched to strengthen the tracking of drug users in the area to find clues, the links of drug supply chains, and a group of subjects specializing in drug transport. From the southern provinces, especially in Binh Duong province and Ho Chi Minh City, to Doc Lac province for consumption. From there, we tracked the number of drug addicts in the area and the number of people who bought and sold them. Small and odd in Dak Lak and neighboring areas, from which we determined exactly this line was entered by a person who has a household registration in Kaywon district, Ha Tin, but now lives in Benduong province. From the above information, we continue to collect more information for other information from other provinces. If the local units provide more, identify the subject named Tran Ngo Chi Minh, currently residing and living in Benduong province, is one of the subjects with 2 previous criminal convictions. 6 is the illegal drug trade. October 28, 2018. The scouts discovered a suspect with a suspicious expression inside a motel in Bon Ma Thuot City. This subject came from Benduong. Before that, this person had met some drug users in the area. Information from the public shows that the subject recently frequented several locations in Bon Ma Thuot City. The object came here to trade drugs. The police investigation agency of Dak Lak province set up a task force to closely monitor the movement of the customer. When we received information that the subject was staying at the motel and brought all the drugs into the motel, we organized forces to follow the subject. In the process of moving and tracking the subject, we determined to the deserted places with few people passing by to avoid the danger to the masses. After reaching the deserted roads, the reconnaissance teams were assigned to organize the struggle to arrest. We proceeded within range of the subject. After discovering that there was a follower, the subject with a bag, and then ran away, the task team immediately pursued and arrested. At the investigation agency found 2 cakes of heroin and a bag of meth in the bag. The subject confessed to being 33-year-old Tran Ngo Chi Minh with permanent residence in Kaywon district. Ha Tin is often in Benduong but does not have a fixed address. Min said that he was transporting the above drugs to an unknown man in Benduong province to Bon Ma Thuot City and delivered to another person. Unknown person with a salary of 10 million dong. All of them met only once and did not leave their identities. In less than 10 days, the police of Dak Lak province arrested 2 cases of transportation illegally transferring narcotics in large quantities. It is possible that in the coming time, the subjects in the drug line through Dak Lak province will be more vigilant. On July 20, 2020, the car with license plate 29A05128 reappeared on Ho Chi Minh Road, passing through Quer Dang Commune, Quang District. This time the car was running very fast, could not go like last time. The driver showed signs strange, so the plan to stop the vehicle for a formal check is implemented. Found 4 black bags in the car, used a knife to test it. It was found that there was a cement white crystalline substance. By professional measures it was methamphetamine. The subject on the vehicle said it was urea. After that, the subject got up and ran away. Some of the evidences obtained were immediately solicited for examination. The results showed that the total amount of drugs collected on the vehicle of the 2 subjects was 200 kilograms of crystal meth. The drivers named the vehicle. More than born in 1994 in the Baliksam K province of Laos, who do not know how to speak Vietnamese, slightly let the investigating agency know that the accused transported hired drugs from Laos to Vietnam. A man named Lit Ham in Laos hired a driver of a drug truck from the border area to Ho Chi Minh City with a salary of $2,000. The other subject sat in the passenger seat. Tin was born in 1986 in Ky Sun Nayan but lives in Baliksam K in Laos. Tin admits to himself that he was also hired by an unknown man to guide the other man with a salary of 10 million dong to go from the border to Ho Chi Minh City by himself. I only know it's a delivery truck and I don't know if it's methamphetamine.